What are you expecting to see them do next? I know that the Davos crowd announced last year they want $100 trillion in taxpayer money to give to themselves in banker bailouts. Now they're announcing that they're looking forward to the new system run by the bureaucrats that they're saying will get rid of outdated capitalism when it's been their insider crony capitalism that's actually caused the problems. And I mean, now they're really dispensing with any pretext that this is democratic.
Yes, they are. And as I said earlier, you're talking about two EU technocrats who are now the prime ministers of great nation states, in fact, the cradles of democracy, if you want to call it that, or the cradles of civilization, Greece and Italy. They are doing away with every sort of pretense that we have democracy here. I mean, look, they're going to be talking in a summit next week, and what they'll be talking about is full fiscal union. What they're going to try to do is to prop up the euro, save the euro through full fiscal union, when the peoples of Europe aren't even being asked whether they want this in the first place. The peoples of Europe are being sidestepped again. These are deals which will take place in smoke-filled rooms behind closed doors. They're doing away with any pretense of democracy altogether. The big problem that the EU has, the big elephant, the white elephant in the room, is the euro, because the euro itself cannot survive. It cannot survive, certainly in the current state that it's in. And probably Greece, Italy, Spain, Portugal, maybe Ireland will all have to fall out the euro in the end.
And they're going to do everything they can to try to prop it up, and that'll really expose them. Member of the Parliament, EU Parliament from England, from the UK, Paul Nuttall, thank you so much for the time, sir.
Thank you, Alex.
All right, there he goes. And you can just type in UKIP and find the main party website there. But they're fighting over there against these globalists as well. Ron Paul has put out a statement on Rand Paul. Rand Paul is in the air. He should be back in D.C. soon on the TSA trying to grope him. Big controversy.
We're on the march.
Okay, if you go to RonPaul2012.com, you can get his statement on what happened to Rand Paul running into the little federal goons who work for the government, the criminal elements that staged 9/11. Ron Paul campaign statement concerning TSA abuses. The TSA gropes and grabs our children, our seniors, and our loved ones and neighbors with disabilities while doing nothing to keep us safe. Lake Jackson, Texas, the Ron Paul 2012 presidential campaign released the following statement concerning TSA abuses, like the ones that resulted in U.S. Senator Rand Paul being inconvenienced at the Nashville, Tennessee airport. Below, please find comments from Representative Ron Paul. If you want full quotes, media, we've got the Ron Paul interview on the TSA where he talked about how he's been groped at Infowars.com. The police state in this country is growing out of control. One of the ultimate embodiments of this is the TSA that gropes and grabs our children, our seniors, and our loved ones and neighbors with disabilities. The TSA does all this while doing nothing to keep us safe. This is why my plan to restore America, in addition to cutting $1 trillion in federal spending in the year, eliminates the TSA. We must restore the freedom and respect for liberty that once made America the greatest nation in human history. I am deeply committed to doing that as President of the United States. And this TSA is the big deal, because if they can get away with this and violating the Fourth Amendment and sell it on the back of the idea that we've got to protect you from any danger, whether it be champagne corks that kill over 100 people a year, look it up, World Almanac, or honeybees that kill several hundred a year, or deer that kill several hundred a year, not just running out in front of your car, but sometimes deer actually kill people with their antlers a couple times a year, or on and on and on. There's thousands of things more dangerous than terrorism, and most of the terrorism is provocateured or flat out staged. But since when did land of the free, home of the brave say the terrorists are so scary because they have beards and turbans on their heads that we're going to overthrow the entire Bill of Rights and Constitution and say you can't travel unless the TSA says so? There's no more due process. We're just going to do this. This is the type of bull that makes my blood boil. And, of course, they're saying that they didn't detain him. All they ever do is lie about groping kids. They're always saying, I had people on the street come up to me and go, Alex, the TSA has stopped groping children. They've made the announcement. And I get emails like that, and I'm like, they've made that announcement over and over again. They keep doing it. Just like they said, don't worry, Obama's going to veto the NDAA. And I said, no, he's not. He's going to sign it. How do I know? I know their playbook. He said he would veto it so you wouldn't politically make an issue out of it. Now Ron Paul has introduced legislation to repeal it. The sections that end posse comitatus and put troops on the streets, that allow them to black bag anybody they want and have you disappear forever, that allow worldwide war without Congress. I mean, this happens in every other country. A bunch of crooks get in and run wild and commit a bunch of crimes. That's always the first phase. Then they get scared that the people are waking up, so they try to bring in a total tyranny. And if it looks like they're about to get arrested, they'll start a big war to try to get everybody to rally around them and do what they're told. Now, I'm going to open the phones up a little bit before Bernard von NotHaus joins us, the head of the Liberty Dollar, illustrating the police state. He'd been in coining silver and gold commemorative coins for more than 3 decades. I remember watching his Royal Hawaiian Mint ads when I was a teenager. 14 years old, laying around watching television on the weekend and thinking, boy, those Royal Hawaiian coins look neat. He was the owner of that. And for, 14 years, he issues the Liberty Dollar, silver, gold, and copper coins. And his whole thing is about the Federal Reserve being a fraud, and we should all get into gold and silver. Totally legal, totally lawful. But what's wild is, in fact, guys, I forgot to tell you to print this for me. Just type in Justice Department statement on Liberty Dollar conviction. So I want to read that. It's on the FBI website. Justice Department statement on Liberty Dollar. And it's on the FBI website. And they say these people are terrorists. Those that try to use alternate currencies are enemies. And we will infiltrate, frustrate, and destroy them and all this. I mean, it's like they're talking about real criminals or something like themselves. And they've got these kept federal juries that are total frauds and convict 98% of those that go before them. Just total kangaroo, many cases paid off, criminal, hardcore criminals, no justice at the federal level, just sickening grand juries that work for narcotics trafficking murderers. I mean, that's basically what the government is. I mean, the troops publicly grow the opium now and tell you on the news, and people are like, well, that's patriotic. They can't even hide it anymore. So what do? Well, just put it on BBC and Fox and CNN and ABC Nightly News that the troops grow the opium. And it's loaded on C-130s, but they don't talk about that. Again, I'm living in a total twilight zone. And he's facing sentencing next month, and he's calling for people's help, so we're going to have him pop in for about 20, 30 minutes, then I'll continue with your calls. But it's really getting to me. I guess in years past, at night, having a couple glasses of wine and eating a bunch of barbecue or whatever was a way to sedate myself. But now running 8 miles a day and cutting my calories in about half or more and cutting out alcohol and things. I mean, I feel like I did when I was about 20 years old. And I just, maybe I can't handle it because I'm just really getting angry. And I'm sick of it. I mean, I am just getting so angry at the New World Order. But I'll tell you who I'm really angry at. It's all these people that even as everything we warned you about comes true exactly like we said it would. Do you realize how horrible it's going to get after this? This is nothing. This is just the preparatory getting all their system lined up. It's like when you're going to make a big dinner for friends that are coming over. And, you go to the grocery store, you get the food, you unpack it, you chop up the vegetables, you get the meat ready, you get the marinade ready for the meat, you make the salad, you put out a tablecloth, you put the plates down, you put the napkins there, you go out in the backyard, cut some flowers, make a bouquet, put some jazz on, light some candles. And the New World Order lit the candles, folks. They're done. They're just waiting for dinner time. Of course, you know what's on the menu, right? All the rest of our freedoms, liberties, and dignities humiliating bondage. You know how other folks live under bondage? It's horrible. And the financial bondage of having no future. I hate seeing opportunity destroyed. I hate seeing people working 2, 3 jobs and can't get ahead. I don't like lack of prosperity. I don't like seeing people poor. I don't like seeing people empty. I don't like seeing people unhealthy. I don't like seeing where all of this is going. And the worst part is seeing how unconscious the average person is. Even if they know the government's out of control and big corporations control it, they still think that's somebody else's problem or there's nothing they can do about it. There better be something you can do about it. And there is. See, I want to tell people that serve the system something, and then I'm going to get into more news. I want to explain something to people. I want to try to get something across to you. You like to steal money, and you like to sit around all day, and you like insider scams and good old boy deals, and you rationalize that, well, the money's just going to go to somebody anyways, and that you're going to, you know, buy things in the economy, so you got it all figured out. But the problem is you can't stand up against other forms of corruption that are greater than what you've done, because if you do, the more corrupt people will simply blow the whistle on you. In fact, give me a document cam shot, please, for people that are watching on Prisonplanet.tv. A Sharpie would be better, but I can do this with a regular ballpoint pen. I'm going to show people how this works, okay? Okay, let's say here's a midline of people that will not engage in corruption. And we're seen as the schmucks, the idiots, the suckers, the morons. You know, the hardworking people are seen as idiots by the corrupt. We're seen as marks. We're seen as basically cannon fodder. But it's a step-up process. Those that are a little corrupt, you know, they think it's not going to hurt anything. And then there are those above them that, you know, engage in a little bit more corruption. It's kind of stairs leading upwards or downwards. And at each level, though, people that go along with corruption always tend to be self-centered. They're not deeper, more wisdom-filled creatures. They think they can engage in a little bit of cheating. And the next person thinks that, and the next person, the next person, and the next level as you go upwards in the continuum of corruption. But by the time you get up here, you're dealing with total sociopaths. By the time you go up a few steps, you're dealing with just completely corrupt individuals who either don't care or who are sadistic and actually enjoy abusing people and like doing bad things. And then you've also got psychopaths who just have no connection to reality. And then you've got these master controller types who know what they're doing but want to be in control and see everybody as animals, so they'll do anything. And think that they're gods.